Hello, everybody. We are back. It's Simon here. It's Lorra.
Hello.
It's Husband and Wife Sentenced to Life, the podcast.
Yes.
What you don't know is I had a load of reverb to that post.
Right.
So it sounds like echoey. We're in the same clothes as the last one because we're in the same place. It's the same time.
My fringe hasn't grown anymore.
No, unfortunately. I'm going to start with another hypothetical question. Did you like the last one?
Yes. Because
I die. This happened in the last one. I die.
Okay.
I love the laugh.
Yeah,
you're
no,
not, you're
because
not sad.
I'm wondering which bit of your body it's going to be this time.
Okay, well, it does involve a part of the body.
Go on.
I die. Forget the sadness and everything. I'm going to be cremated because I think ecologically that's the way you've got to do it these days, unless they're burying you in a forest in a wicker basket. But the funeral director says to you that he can save my gentleman's excuse me.
Yeah.
And you can take that away with you.
As like a souvenir?
Yeah. Would you want it?
Well, I wouldn't want it when it's floppy.
So your first question to the funeral, you're dabbing your eyes. It's so sad he's gone.
Yeah, but there must be something they could like inject, or perhaps how do you die? Like, could I get your heart just before or something? I don't know.
There's a good chance I could have a heart attack during the act of coitus.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
If that happened, would you be tempted to just whip it off then and tell the funeral director I've saved you a job?
What's his name?
Bobbit.
No, Mr. Mives. What's his...
Armand Mives,
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to do that.
So, the funeral director says to you...
I could keep it as a little souvenir, yes.
Yeah, look, this is a service we offer. We don't publicise it because obviously it sounds a little bit morbid, but we can give you his penis.
Yeah.
And your reply is, well, I don't want if it's flaccid.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't put it on display. I wouldn't have it like on the mantelpiece or anything.
You're not proud? Don't answer.
I am, but I would ask him. I'd ask him if there was a little injection or whatever. I don't know. Maybe put it in a bedside cabinet.
Yeah, is the room.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. So I'm going to stay on sex for a while. I know you don't like it, but we had. There was a few weeks recently where we had the sex survey about how often you should be having sex compared to how often we were. I kind of feel like it came out that we were having sex more than people in their 20s were. Yeah. But you still weren't happy about it. You said you wanted it every other day. It got so much feedback on all the socials. Yeah. You know.
Oh, yeah, but the stats were ridiculous. What was it? Once every 3 weeks? It was...
For our age?
Yeah.
Yeah, once every 21 days.
Stupid.
So I went on to YouGov. You know the poll thing, YouGov?
Yeah.
And there was a survey this week, how often Britons are having sex. Okay. Right? So I went on to the age bracket, and the closest one to our ages was 25 to 49. Okay. So you're a good few years within that age bracket. I'm just out of the age bracket, right? Yeah. But 25 is a long time ago for both of us.
Yes, it is.
So this should be higher than us.
Yeah.
They asked them how many times they'd had sex in the last week.
Okay.
4% of people said they'd had sex 3 times in the last week.
Okay.
9% said they'd had sex twice in the last week.
Okay.
That's about where we are.
Yeah.
So 9%.
9%, hey?
Doing it more than 91% of people. 15% said they'd only done it once in the last week. 19% said they weren't sexually active.
Okay.
Lovely category to be in. 36% said they were sexually active but had had no sex in the last week.
Right, yeah.
So
that happens. That happens occasionally.
Chance to be a fine thing. And the rest of people said they preferred not to say. So hearing that statistic, would you say are you still fighting the corner of we're not doing it enough?
No, I'm saying that's pretty good. I mean, I don't know, like when you say the Brits, we're good at drinking, aren't we? We're known for our drinking. I don't know if we're known for having lots of sex. I don't know.
During the surveys, actually, we tend to come out a bit higher. It used to be that the Brits weren't sexy. You know, the Italians were sexy, the Spanish, the French used to be notoriously sexy. Yeah. But when you see the surveys that come out these days, the Brits... I mean, look how many 14-year-old mums you see since we've been back pushing prams around and vaping.
Yeah, anyway, lovely look.
I sound like a Daily Mail columnist, don't I? When I say that. So there you go. That's a bit of survey for you. I want to talk about something I don't know if we've outed on the podcast before.
Go on.
About one of your weird habits that it's something that really irks me. It almost fell into the ick category at the end of the podcast.
Go on.
Is you go mad if I have the volume on the telly or in the car on an even number.
Yes, I do.
And look, we've talked before about our various neurodivergence, right? You've claimed from your jobs in the olden days teaching that I'm on a spectrum somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I have got so many of these quirks, but this one doesn't bother me in the slightest. And when I get one of these, like walking on cracks on the pavement, I do it on purpose to make myself stop doing it.
I've always had OCD. I think you as well. But this is one that's happened, I think, probably over the last 10, 15 years. It's not something I've always had. It's an odd number thing. I have to have things on an odd number. So I get a proper pain when I see you've put it on an even number. Yeah.
And you don't let it go.
No.
I mean, in the bedroom, if it's on 16, you'll say put it on 15.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't realise vibrators went up that high.
Let's not again.
No, but you know, we're watching telly in bed. You won't settle until I put it on an even number.
And I've got it with lots of other things. Like if I'm putting ice in a drink, I'll only put like 3 pieces or 5 pieces. I'll not put 2 or 4.
Why is it that it's got to be an odd number?
I don't know.
Because to me, I see odd numbers.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to sound like I'm from the Middle Ages here, but if it's like a luck thing, because I know you do that bloody stupid thing at Magpies every time.
That's the only one I do. You know, like this. My nan
That.
was really superstitious. She wouldn't walk under a ladder. She wouldn't cross you on the stairs. She would never wear green. She was really like quite into that.
Mental is the word.
Well, I mean,
but then old people were.
But the magpie one, I don't know why I do that one, and it annoys me when I do it, and I try and do it secretly, but I know you're watching me when I do it.
But the evil thing is, I've always seen odd numbers as more evil than even numbers.
Yeah. No, I can see that. As kids, you have lucky numbers or whatever. So my lucky numbers are 7 and 9. They're not lucky because...
Not 6 and 9.
No, it's not. These numbers have never brought me luck. And, you know, like in the mornings, I spray my perfume an odd number of times.
This is insane.
So normally I do it 9... Oh, God, I sound so weird. Normally I do it 9 times. Occasionally I'll go to 13. Occasionally I'll leave it at 7. But that's normally 7, 9 or 13. And if I've done the 8 and I think, gosh, I've sprayed too much, I still make myself do the 9th
Let's say you forget. You've put a load on. You forgot. What's your plan then?
No, but I don't forget. I don't. It's just, it's...
Okay, you have to run out of the house. You're on 8. You're on 12.
Then I will have that.
What does it do to you?
It makes me really anxious, and I know it's stupid. Like as I'm sat here saying it, I know how stupid it is, but it makes me really anxious. And I do sometimes try and override it. Like I do think, well, has it ever brought you? Like, have you ever won the lottery because you've sprayed 9 times? Do you know what I mean? It's never brought me luck. It's never.
Can you try and get out of it? Do you think? Is it too late now? Is it in for the rest of your life?
I reckon I could try. I mean, you know, like we've all got our different quirks and stuff like that. But yeah, it is a weird one, and I know it is, and it annoys me that I do it, but it also makes me so anxious if I don't do it.
To level things up here, have I mentioned this on the podcast before? My blinking one. So when I'm driving or I'm a passenger in a car,
right,
I'd sometimes find myself when I'm passing the white lines on the road, I'm looking at them, which is not great when you're driving.
Yeah.
I have to blink in between every white line.
That's a bit like the not stepping on the lines.
But I have to draw myself out of it. I have the ability, for someone with so many hang-ups in my head, I have the ability to draw myself out of it.
Yeah.
Well, I look like an idiot when I'm doing it.
Well, when we got our phone numbers, like we all had a choice of what number to have at the end, and I said I have to have an odd number.
So you got 3, right?
Yeah.
At the end?
Yeah.
I got 5, you see.
But the girls knew that I needed to have one of the odd numbers, which is it's bad that the kids all know that I'm a bit of a weird one when it comes to odd numbers.
I hate the thought of passing it on to them. Whenever I hear the kids do something weird that we've passed on to them, I try and break them out.
Yeah. It's not something that I would want to pass on, you know, and Betsy has little quirks as well, and occasionally, you know, she just got this thing at the minute where she twitches her neck, and that's become a habit, and she knows she's doing it, and I watch her doing it, and she's like, oh, can't stop doing it. So when I see her doing something like that, it makes me sad that she's doing it. So I would hate to think that I'm passing on that kind of stuff to her.
Well, we're going to stick with Betsy Pearl.
Yeah.
She's our youngest, for anyone who's new to the podcast. And we are going to talk about something that happened in the house last night.
So last night we were sat downstairs watching TV. Betsy was upstairs on Zoom to her mates.
And the only way she communicates with us these days, classic, is by phone.
Yep.
Or you get that, like on This Country, Kerry! You have that. You and her have this shouting thing up and downstairs. And again, I'm so sensitive to sound. I'm like, please stop shouting.
Yeah.
So last night we're sitting there in that brief bit of mum and dad time we've got, chilling out. And you've got a packet of Aldi Jaffa cakes on the go.
Yes.
And you get a text from her upstairs. Now, right, we've printed off the text here. Do you want to be Betsy Pearl and I'll be you?
Okay.
Okay, so go on. We'll just read these verbatim. Because this was so much fun for us, by the way.
I just want to start by saying Betsy is the skinniest person I know.
Well, it's hard to believe now, but up until being about 28, I was 9 stone.
Yeah.
I was so thin, like a sparrow. I've made up for it. I'm balancing it out over life.
As was I.
But also what we should say about Betsy Pearl is she only eats white food and beige food.
She's the world's worst eater.
And you cannot get her to eat. We've cajoled her, we've been angry at her, we've tried everything. Every parent knows what we're talking about.
And Leo and Honey are brilliant eaters. They've always eaten any fruit and veg, like spicy food. They'll eat. So we've not done anything differently with Betsy. So anyway.
So we cannot get her to eat.
No.
But then last night, we start getting these texts from upstairs.
Yeah.
Mum, I'm going on a diet to become healthy.
You shrug emoji from you. I've bought you plenty of fruit and veg.
Then she sent me...
Eat at least 5 portions of a variety of fruit and veg every day. Base meals and higher fibre, starchy foods like potatoes, bread, rice and pasta. Have some dairy or dairy alternatives. Eat some beans, meats, pulses, etc. Choose unsaturated oils and spreads and eat them in small amounts. Drink plenty of fluids, at least 6 to 8 glasses a day. This is what I'm going by. NHS approved.
So what's happened here is her and her mates have decided to go messaging together. So you've replied with OMG.
OMG, yeah.
So my friend is going to do the trial being vegetarian with
me, because that's something Betsy's recently...
She's been vegetarian since Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of her as well, because it's not,
Again,
it's one more thing she's not eating.
Yeah.
You won't do it. Proper mum support.
Hashtag she's put...
Hashtag self-care.
I've tried, !
Yes, I will.
It is in capitals now. Angry voice.
Yeah.
Me and my friend are doing it together. We are surviving.
I have grapes, blueberries, tangerines downstairs.
Do you have an apple?
Yes. You can't just have banana and apple every day, though.
I'll go get an apple. I can have carrots and broccoli and potato every dinner.
Potato isn't veg. It is, but it isn't counted.
I've already set out a meal plan. But it's good for diets.
It goes into the carbs category.
She's talking about the potato there, yeah.
Read the NHS, Mum.
Betsy Pearl, stop.
What?
And
then she's replied,
I'm not eating chocolate or biscuits for 30 days.
So this is a conversation that's gone on upstairs and downstairs.
Yeah.
Right? Then she comes downstairs to watch Celebrity Big Brother last night.
Yeah.
By the way, we've not talked about it, but I'm loving Celebrity Big Brother.
Yes.
She comes down.
Yeah.
We got a cup of tea each, and there's about 3 Jaffa cakes left in the packet because you've done a double boxing.
I know, but the thing was, this week was meant to be my week of starting to have no chocolate in the evening.
And you'll be mad at me for it, even though you got the Jaffa cakes out.
I know.
I had to stop you doing this. You were going to send her a picture of the Jaffa cakes as she's trying to start a diet. That is evil.
It is. You're right, yeah.
On the one time she said she's going to try and eat fruit and veg that we've been trying to get her to do for 11 years.
I know, but because I just know how bad she is at eating it. But then this morning, what I did for her was I made her some toast, but I also made her a big fruit bowl with several fruits that I know she won't eat, like kiwi, there was grapes in there was blueberries in there. There was the apple and the banana that she will eat sometimes.
I missed this last night. She came downstairs and saw the 3 remaining Jaffa cakes.
Yeah.
And I heard her say, I could start this tomorrow.
That's my saying.
So did she have...
She had 1.
Fair play.
But the thing was, she'd already that day had... she'd had some chocolate peanuts or something.
Now you're giving her the excuses you have. Well, the cut-off's tomorrow. Or like after Christmas. Well, we can't do the first week.
No, but I said to her, you have already had chocolate today, so you may as well start in the morning.
God, you are terrible.
No, I am. but I did make her that this morning. And then she wasn't enjoying it. She was forcing herself to do it. She'd like set her own alarm. She got herself up early. She was really proud of herself. She said, this is all part of my health routine, my new routine.
10 minutes later, she sat downstairs. There is a bowl of the healthiest looking fruit on the table. Apples, kiwi.
Well, she's trying to get the seeds out of the kiwi fruit, by the way.
Now, I have never eaten a kiwi in my life, so I have no idea.
You're not a good example
but
with the
I'm
fruit.
terrible with textures.
Yeah,
it makes
I know.
me vomit if there's a weird texture.
I managed to get, I'd cut a grape in half like you do for babies.
Or me.
Yeah. And she had a piece of a red grape because they're sweeter. And she went, it tastes quite nice, but I just can't bear the skin. So she is a texture thing like you.
So you've got to peel her grapes. Oh, that's a Mariah Carey request.
Yeah.
I want some puppies and peel the bloody grapes.
Yeah. So that's not happening. And I was just like, just eat it. But then she got outside and then she gets a message from the friend that's going vegetarian with her and the friend that's going to do this healthy kick with her and says, Betsy, I've bought you a bowl of fruit salad to have when we get to school. So she's just had one and her friends just bought her one, bless her.
I felt for her this morning while you were getting ready to go on the school run. I walked past and she's still sat there and she's got one bit of fruit on her fork and she just sat there like that and I'm going, go on, try and eat it, for your thing.
Yeah.
But I felt for her. Because Betsy Pearl, most of the time won't eat breakfast, but if she's eating it, her breakfast is a chocolate hobnob, oldie variety.
Yeah. Nutella on toast.
A Pop-Tart.
Marmite on toast is about the healthiest thing I can get in her.
I tell you what, she's all right with the wholemeal bread. We sneak that in.
Yes.
We've really gone into the parenting on this bit, haven't we? I like it, though. So we'll see how that pans out. She said she's doing it for a month, so let's report back.
I know, but I feel like you and I need to sort ourselves out there as well.
So let's talk about the ick.
The ick.
Here's a couple that I really struggle with. The biting of fingernails.
Yeah.
And the cracking of knuckles.
Oh.
I've never, ever done that in my life. In the 80s, that's when that became really trendy. Everybody used to be cracking their knuckles all the time.
2 of our kids do it.
I have never known how to do it. My Uncle Martin, who's like a big brother, who's only 7 years older than me, he was incessantly doing it. And my grandparents used to be like, you'll get arthritis.
Yeah, well,
I don't even know if that's a myth.
Well, Leo and Betsy do it. Leo and Betsy Pearl both crack the knuckles. And I always say to them, don't do it. And they're like, it doesn't do what you think it does, Mum. Which,
well, it's an ick.
I don't know. It can't be good for you. It can't be good, like constantly clicking your knuckles. But yeah, I agree. It's not nice. It's not nice when you hear strangers do it either.
I hate it.
And biting your fingernails. Ugh.
That just never. Honey does it.
Honey bites like the skin around. But and that bugs me. And she does it when she's nervous, and I'm like, I push her. But I've been on the tube several times when I've seen people biting their fingernails, and I'm sure I've said this, but like I have that thing where I literally just want to punch them in the side and say, stop doing that. Like it does to me what the odd numbers do to me. It makes me have that like. What's
worse?
Yeah.
That or that time that you put your hand on the rail and you got a bogey on your hand. I loved that.
Did you see me this morning though? I couldn't. I was because I normally have my fingerless gloves on. So that's almost like a barrier between my hand and the pole.
Well, you've made me conscious of it because today we had to stand up on the tube and I'm holding the tube in all different places. And I thought, if I get a bogey...
constantly now look at the pole beforehand, but it felt hot and a bit not slimy, but a bit like people's hands have been on it. And it was really making me, I was having to, again, control that weirdness. And then when I got off, I'm straight away there with the wet wipes on my hands.
I feel like we need to end the podcast. The ick's a good way to end the podcast, but I feel like we send people away feeling gross. We might need to do I started today with talking about the funeral director giving you my penis and we're finishing today with bogies on handrails.
Yeah.
But that's it for this episode. Don't forget, you can watch it on YouTube. You can hit us up for the socials. It's all in the description. And we'll see you next time.
See you later.